Hello, everybody. I'm Jesse Waters with Judge Jeanine Pirro, Jessica Tarlov, Kennedy, and Jimmy Failla. We're in New York City, and this is The Five. The liberal media is head over heels for Kamala Harris, but there's a concern that the VP might let them down, urging voters to pay attention. Just energy, energy, energy. She hasn't done any major interviews. There's an opportunity for her to perform well, but she hasn't debated Trump yet. Sometimes the moment makes the person, and sometimes the person makes the moment. This moment is crying out for a breakthrough, some kind of hope. Jesse. While Kamala Harris has been getting rave reviews from the media, she hasn't addressed reporters' questions since the Democrats pushed Biden aside and made her the nominee. That changed last night when she was forced to speak unscripted and ended up delivering one of her infamous word salads. Watch. Kamala Harris. This is extorted. They're testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and the strength that comes from understanding significant diplomacy. Her team later attempted to rectify her nonsensical statements by tweeting out a completely different quote, supposedly what she intended to say. Now, President Trump and J.D. Vance are directly criticizing the media for continually elevating Harris. President Trump, the media has taken over and is trying to transform her into Margaret Thatcher. But that's not going to work. She was the worst vice president, the most unpopular and least respected in our country's history. The press is trying to make her popular. Kamala Harris is like a chameleon. She goes to Georgia, having been raised in Canada, and adopts a fake Southern accent. She adjusts her persona based on her audience. Now, as part of Kamala's rebranding effort, she is completely abandoning Biden's campaign advisors and replacing them with veterans from the Obama campaign. Jessica Tarlov, you know how sometimes when Trump speaks off prompter? Sometimes? Some of us wonder, okay, where is this going? How do you feel when Kamala Harris speaks without a teleprompter? Be honest, Jessica. I actually need to change my answer. She doesn't always perform well, and everyone knows that, including her supporters. It's up to the opposition to highlight those moments to potentially sway independent voters. This is a base election. Democrats are excited about the situation. We're having a record-breaking fundraising month with $310 million, two-thirds of which are from new donors. People are energized and prepared. Ultimately, a few 100,000 voters in 5 to 6 key states will determine the outcome. Replaying these moments won't deter us. J.D. Vance's comments about Kamala Harris being a chameleon while he supports someone he called America's Hitler are hard to understand. It's also ironic for Trump to claim she's just coasting by when he himself is essentially getting a free ride. Okay, Judge Jeanine, there's no doubt she's in a honeymoon period. I want to ask, will the real Kamala Harris please stand up? We've been subjected to word salads for the past 3.5 years. In her first unscripted comment as the designated candidate, she delivered another word salad. When she doesn't know what to say, she just repeats herself. Even her own campaign had to step in to clean it up. She appears inauthentic, bizarre, and tends to cackle. We don't have a clear sense of her public persona. Now she's adopting Republican talking points, suddenly endorsing fracking and avoiding any mandates on gun confiscation. She seems to be shifting towards Republican stances. Van Jones is understandably concerned. Do you think this race will be tight and come down to a few key swing states? Kennedy, yes, the race will hinge on the swing states. Both Trump and Harris will have their moments of being ahead. Ultimately, voters will focus on how to support their families. Both candidates are quite distinct and dramatic. Kamala Harris, much like Joe Biden, has a tendency to make gaffes. Watching Trump can be shocking and amusing, while Kamala's speeches often come across as incoherent. She will likely continue to make imprudent remarks and struggle to defend her record. If she were able to effectively defend her record, she would have managed Tulsi Gabbard's critiques better in the 2020 race. When her record is scrutinized, she often reacts with a sour expression, laughs awkwardly, becomes serious, and then makes another questionable statement. She needs to be more transparent about her poor decisions as DA, Attorney General, Senator, and Vice President. Aside from that, I think she's great. Other than that, she's great. Do you think Kamala Harris is smart? As someone who went to community college and majored in the new Atari, that's a tricky question. She has a major fundraising edge because they can charge people to attend events, which isn't possible with traditional candidates. This time, they're attacking her from the back end. Here's the performance art of it all. If the media truly believed in her, Biden would have been pushed out a year ago. Her challenge is to limit her exposure while letting the media create a favorable image. If it comes down to the candidate alone, she's at a disadvantage because the media doesn't view her as strong. I don't think she's very smart. Everyone knows she's not that smart. Even she knows it. Jessica, how do you feel about the Obama team taking over? Are you happy or worried? Jessica, it's not the whole Obama team, just David Plouffe. He's a smart choice as a senior advisor. She hasn't replaced Jen O'Malley Dillon and is still using the same pollsters. The infrastructure remains intact, but she wants as many talented people who have helped elect Democrats in her circle. It makes a lot of sense. He'll be a great asset. We often refer to James Carville's clips. Anyone who has successfully gotten someone elected president is invaluable. Why are you looking at me like that? Something in my ear, not related to you. Oh, okay. Anyway, I think it...